We live with episode 5 of the No Box Sports Podcast. Yeah! I'm your host, Uncle Doug.
And I'm original CP3.
And listen, you already know we got to come talk to the people because it's playoff week, baby.
Let's go.
It's playoff week.
Let's go.
New season. It don't matter what happened in the regular season. And we kicking it right off. We not going to waste no time. We going to get right into it. Y'all already know what the deal is. Man, y'all already know. Let's go.
This to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold. Nightmares come true.
Séance.
Game, and I said, yeah, I do. I used to pray for time this to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold.
Nightmares come true.
Yeah,
the dog saying it too.
Yo, as it really come to this now, as it really come to this, like forget coaching, forget running plays, forget the players. What we really need for the Eagles to win is we got to start chanting old dreams and nightmares. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to start doing.
They said that old 2000, whenever Meek dropped that 15 Meek, we got to bring that energy back.
That's what we got to do. That's what we got. We got to chant. Like, we just got to come together as a fan base. Just, get together, pull up a table, get some candles, turn the lights down, get the Eagles helmet, your Eagles get whatever
the
you got to
Luigi
do.
board. Get the Luigi board out.
It's got to be Eagles Ouija
like
board.
Some sage.
And we just got to come together and just chant together as one. And that's how we're going to beat the Bucs.
That
is crazy. That's
ridiculous. Funny. Like, whoever thought of that, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. But
it was.
What's going on right now? People feel like we need some intervention. We need something to come and supersede. But I say be careful when you doing the seance and you trying to summon certain spirits, because y'all had the Eagles Kelly Green stuff on the table. Now y'all got to remember what we was during that Kelly Green era. We ain't never go to no Super Bowls.
Good point.
We ain't never win nothing during that era. So if you're gonna do that, you got to make sure it's all right, because once you summon the spirit, once it get here, you can't control what it do. But listen, we need some luck, but what we really need is execution and for this team to wake up. Because damn, we lost 5 out of the last 6 ending the season,
bro.
And if any Eagles fan out there tell you they feel good about where we are now, then that is the delusional Eagles fan. That right there, because how can you feel good about 5 out of 6? We just lost to the Giants this past Sunday, 27-10. The last time we seen y'all, we was fresh off beating the Giants. And that game was a little closer than we would have liked it to be. And you was expressing your concerns about that. Like, if we supposed to be the second best team in the NFC, we should not be this close to the Giants. And I was like, dog, chill. A win is a win. Yeah. But the week after versus the Cardinals, it seemed like he was on to something, man.
I mean, bro, if you think about it, that win, you said 5 out of the last 6. The way we won that one game, you might as well count that almost like a loss. I mean, in retrospect now, it's like, hindsight 2020 and all that. It's like, it's looking bad, man. It's looking bad.
Like, a win is not a win.
It's not. Right, exactly. Exactly. That's because the defense, they look bad.
Struggling.
The offense
1-3 since Matt Patricia took over. Struggling.
How about it's like that's what I'm saying. Like, forget the coaches, forget the plays and stuff like that. We just need to chant, because we tried changing coaches. That ain't work. Lost to Seattle.
1-3 cents.
Right?
1-3 cents.
There's talk about the coordinator, the offensive coordinator, and stuff like that. There's talk about there's issues in the locker room, which it's like there's all kind of different stuff. We'll talk about that later. But it's like it's all kind of different stuff. But it's like what's the answer?
It seems like water is leaking inside our boat, and our boat is sinking down, and we not nowhere near the destination we want to be. We're in the middle of the ocean right now. We still got a long ways to go, and it seems like the boat is starting to sink slowly but surely. Now, we lost to the Cardinals. Kyler Murray Now, I do want to say this. Kyler Murray is a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Some might say Kyler Murray is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. And to me, over the years, when the Eagles defense come against a quarterback that has the game on a string and really know what's going on and can make plays, we've always struggled versus those type of quarterbacks. It just looked bad because the Cardinals had only won 3 games up to that point, and we feel like we should be dominating because we had the much more talented roster. So that was disappointing.
Yeah, we should have been. Were we winning by a bit before that happened?
I think we went up by double digits at some point in that game.
So it wasn't even a thing where it was like close throughout the game. Like we actually were up by, it looked like, okay, well, we're gonna do what we're supposed to do against the Cardinals, and then we let them come back.
They came back. We let that little troll Kyler Murray, when he runs around the field, it looks so funny when he running. It looked like he's stepping so fast, but it looked like he ain't going nowhere, but he be moving, man. So Kyler Murray got us. We're like, okay, Kyler Murray got us. We still got hope. We still can win the NFC East. All we got to do is go up to New York and beat the Giants. And we went up to New York and we didn't beat the Giants.
But we did make it. All we did was make it to New York. That was about it. That's when it's
to New York. Now, this New York game was just a disaster all the way around. And I didn't mention this about the Cardinals game because Smith got hurt. Devontae Smith got hurt on the Cardinals game on a wide receiver screen. The play that no Eagles fans want to see for the rest of this playoff run. Just throw the wide receiver screen out. We don't execute it well. We don't have the blocking type of receivers you need to run that play. It's terrible, Brian Johnson.
And they starting to expect it. They starting to expect it. If you need any more proof of that, the Giants game showed it. The dude intercepted a screen pass.
Oh, he ran it for a pick six. I forgot about that. Definitely scored. Now listen, I know y'all hear the rumblings and y'all might feel like we're the professionals and we don't got to listen to what the fans say, but some things is just obvious. Throw that play away. And when we went up to the Giants, that just was a disaster because Jalen Hurts got nicked up. His finger was doing he was throwing up gang signs with one of his hand, hit it on somebody's helmet.
Right.
And then he wound up coming back in the game with a dislocated finger, which was just stupid.
Right.
I don't understand the logic in that, Sirianni. Right. And we also lost, possibly outside of Jalen Hurts, the most pivotal piece to our offense, which is AJ Brown.
Yeah.
He left the game. He left the game. He barely can get up and walk off the field.
Right.
And I looked at the practice reports. He did not practice today. His status for Monday night versus the Bucs is questionable right now.
Yeah.
I would say playing Sunday was a detriment to us. That's a game we shouldn't have even played. But hindsight is hindsight. We lost. The Giants put foot to ass 27-10. And in the process of them doing that, they actually hurt themselves because they have a lower draft pick now. So they ain't even need to beat us. They probably wasn't even really trying to beat us. They just beat us because we just playing that bad.
Right. But I will say the silver lining to your earlier point about not having the receivers is we did beat the Bucs running the ball.
And what you saying? We beat the Bucs doing what?
Running the ball. Running the ball. Your point. That's been your point for the last 2 podcasts. That's been your point. So we have DeAndre Swift. We got Kenneth Gainwell. We even got Boston Scott. And we still ain't really used Rashad Penny. So we got people to run the ball. We got people to run the ball. So, and I know the Bucs are probably going to be prepared for that, but we also have one of the best offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Offensive lines,
period.
To handle that. So just do what y'all know to do, man. Stop doing the tricky stuff or stop doing the dumb stuff. I don't even say tricky stuff. It's not even really tricky because it ain't tricking nobody.
Tricky.
It ain't tricking nobody.
Nobody at this point.
Right. So,
nobody.
But it's like do the smart play. Like use your brains. Run it down. Like let's play some smash mouth, as they say. You know what I'm saying?
Now that smash mouth football, this is the time for it. When it gets cold, when it gets to January, now it's not that cold. Now, in case y'all didn't know, we play the Bucs next.
Yeah,
we play the Bucs as a Monday night game. We literally have the last game of the weekend. We wind up being the 5th seed, and that's terrible. Just thinking about where we were when we kicked off this podcast. We had the best record in the NFL. We was about to We was about to play the 49ers, and we had the world in our hands. And to go from the first seed all the way down to the 5th seed is just a terrible, terrible finish. But we can't really do nothing about that, man.
And what makes it worse is you got to hear from the Cowboys fans on your timeline. You get text messages, you see stuff on social media. You got to hear from the other, you got the Commanders fans who ain't in the playoffs, but they laughing because
they are y'all talking.
Misery loves company. And it's like, come on, man. Like that's the worst part about it. It's the Cowboy fans you got to hear that they want to beat their chest because they beat us A, and then B they then took the division. So now we got to hear their trash talk.
Listen, that's a championship. That's a championship for the Cowboys. Winning the division is a championship because we know this is about as far as y'all go. Y'all got the Green Bay Packers this weekend.
Yeah, that's a loss.
And I feel like y'all should beat them. But if y'all do Cowboy things, then we'll be back on this podcast very soon, and we will let y'all have it. But go ahead and enjoy it for now. But y'all did not win the division. We gave y'all the division, literally, from the way we finished. So we got to worry about what's in-house right now, man. We got to worry about what's in-house. So as far as your concern level going into this playoff game with health being a factor, with the way Jalen Hurts is playing, team chemistry, everything being taken into account, how confident are you in our ability to put a redeemable game together or possibly get hot and go on a run? Because at this point, that's what we got to do because we don't got home field. We'll be on the road again.
So 10 being very confident, 1 being no confidence at all.
Yeah, on us being able to piece it. Now, when I say run, I don't mean Super Bowl because we have to be.
We one game at a time.
We have to be realistic right now. We just trying one game at a time.
Yeah,
I mean us.
Yeah, we're not.
And I don't even want you to give your prediction. I'm just saying, like us Super Bowl being able to show well come Monday night.
I feel like the Jim Mora thing with the playoffs. It's
like Super Bowl.
Like, what are we talking? What's like? And that's crazy.
Playoffs.
Exactly. Like at the beginning of the season, we're like, yeah, they're going to repeat or not repeat. They're going to go back, and we're like, yeah, this team. And then 10-1, we're like, oh yeah, we definitely going to. But right now, man, my confidence level is. My confidence, I mean, forget, even if AJ's there, my confidence level is at, it's like a 3, man, if I'm being objective.
Like a 3?
If I'm being objective, it's at a 3.
That's understandable.
At a 3.
That's understandable. Like, and I didn't expect you to say anything higher than a 7. Like, anybody that say anything higher than a 7, I don't even know where you're drawing that from.
Hold on. If you're saying higher.
No, there's some fans out there that done did it.
5. What are you drawing that from? What? A 7?
Now, see, now if I had to be the delusional fan for a second, if I had to go into that mindset, I would say if AJ Brown plays, we're fairly healthy. We got Slay coming back this week. I don't know how happy y'all are about that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how he was playing. But we got Slay coming back this week. Jurgen should be able to play. So we're fairly healthy going into the playoffs. You're not going to be totally healthy. That's number 1. Number 2, this same team, not the same team, but a lot of players on this team went to the playoffs last year. Number 3, it seems like we always play better when we're the underdogs for some reason. Right. And I don't know why that is. It seems like when people count us out, that's when we do our best little rallying cry. And we still got one of the best top 3 offensive lines in the league. We still got the potential to have a quarterback that can play like a top 5 quarterback.
Right.
But when you talk about the defense, there's not really much to say there. We did lose Sidney Brown versus the Giants. I forgot to mention that. We lost him for the year with a torn ACL. Sidney Brown, get back, man, because I salute you. You was a rookie. You stepped in. You played. You made big plays. You had a pick 6 versus Arizona, and it hurt to lose you because you can never have too many D-backs on this team.
Right.
But if I wanted to be one of them delusional fans, I could add all of them things up and say I feel pretty good about our chances to make a nice little run. And I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm saying win 1-2 games, possibly go to NFC Championship game and see what happens. So that's how the delusional fan can get to a 7-ish.
Right. Okay. I mean, honestly, the only reason I'm not going to a 1 is because of some of the stuff that you said. I'm just not ready to go to a 7. Like that's like 7 is really high. 7 is it's not a 10, but it's like you're going to that game somewhat expecting a win. I'm going into that game watching it like hoping that they win. Like I'm already thinking this is probably like we're gonna be talking about the other teams come next week when we're doing our the next podcast because
don't say that.
No, I'm not trying to speak, but it's like the reality is like I'm going in there with that mindset with like yes, if we win, it's like yes, it's like elated. You know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely not going in there.
Your expectations ain't high.
I'm definitely not going to expectation. What have you seen? Like you just said in the last 6 games, you said 5 out of 6 games we lost.
5 out of 6.
Not 5 out of 6 games we won. 5 out of 6. How do you have any and we lost? No, hold on. And not only did we lose, but we lost 2 of those games to bums. The bums.
Yeah, and that was one of the wins. One of the wins.
This is like to bump. We lost to the Giants and the Cardinals. Are you serious right now? Yeah. It ain't like the Cardinals and the Giants are they're close to the playoffs. You just said it earlier. One of them was the Giants trying to get a high draft pick. We lost to a bum team.
The Giants and the Cardinals was in a race for the highest draft pick, and we lost to those 2 teams.
And you going to tell me you got a 7? You're a fan out there that has a 7? Dude, come on, man.
Keep it real. I don't got a 7. I just want to let y'all know that ain't me.
But there's fans that have us like, are you serious?
But that's the nature of an Eagles fan, man. When it's time to line up, when it's time to go on that field, and that ball is kicked off, you're going to think we could come out on top. That's the mindset and the psyche of an Eagles fan. Way before we ever became one of the consistent elite teams. Even when we was teetering some years we used to make noise from the wild card spot. Every time we step on the field as Eagles fans, we don't step on it thinking we're going to lose. And as far back as I can remember, as far back since Andy Reid was here. Now, pre-Andy Reid, Ray Rhodes, and them guys, it was some dark days. I remember them dark days.
Yeah.
But in the last 20, 24 years, no, every time we step on that field as an Eagles fan, and it's just a Philly mentality, period. We don't go nowhere thinking we already down for. If we come and we show up and we get the energy right, we think we can win the game. But my number, I didn't give my number. My number is a 5. My number is a 5. Now I've seen Philly fans, because on the internet, on Twitter, you see a lot of reactions, a lot of live reactions to what's going on. So on Sunday, everybody was done with the team. They wanted to fire everybody, reset. Let's not even play the Bucs. But if you look on it today, now, we all on the wagon, we all on the bus, and we ready to drive through Tampa.
Right.
But there is still some rumbling saying that, they're concerned about this team chemistry and the way they folded down the stretch. And some people want Sirianni's head, man.
Yeah, but I think AJ Brown, from what I've seen recently, I think AJ Brown has been the one that kind of that really kind of dispelled some of that. You know what I mean? I know
you say AJ Brown talked to the media.
Yeah, I mean, he talked to the media and said that it's not about Nick. Like it's like Nick. It's not Nick's. Nick is not the fault. You know what I'm saying? So
you got that clip right here. AJ Brown defending Sirianni.
That was us. We messed that up. We improvised and we went on our own. And Nick came out and said, "Oh, I wanted to try to get a flag or something crazy like that." It's like he really made himself look like a fool for us. I have nothing but respect for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because not all coaches do that. You know what I'm saying? So like, we ride with Nick. We ride with Brian. We just got to come out. We just got to play ball. That's all it is.
That's simple, huh?
Person messing up or something like that. And I'm not saying that somebody just trying to mess up, but it happens. We human. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, there's highs and lows, and you see the glimpses. So that's why I'm like, we right there. We right there. Despite everything, despite everybody saying this or saying that, like we right there. And we know we are. And that's the only thing that matters is we know. We know. You can say whatever you want to say. But when the shit happens, then it's gonna be like, oh, what is going on? Oh. What if it don't happen? Then we're gonna try again. That's what it is, and that's how you have to approach life.
AJ, And that's
the thing. We're gonna try again. What you, Aaliyah now, AJ?
Sometimes you gotta pick yourself up, man. Sometimes you gotta pick yourself up, man. You do. Hey, and I mean, he is, of all the people to say that, he is definitely somebody that needs to say that and walk it out, because let's go with the Cowboys game that they lost. He was one of the people that fumbled the ball. Okay. Yeah. So he's not he's saying that to just not only to the media, we're saying it to himself. Yo, I gotta do better. That's how I got from, and honestly, that's part of the reason why I don't have it at a 1. I mean, I feel like a 5 is the most you can, based on the games that you watched. If you're
I'm a 5
fan, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like 5 is the most you can really get in regards. I guess 7 is, like you said, it's delusional, because I just don't see it in regards to confidence. You can hope. I hope they win, but to have the confidence they're gonna beat the Buccaneers when we couldn't even beat the Cardinals.
Okay, so is Sirianni on the hot seat? Is that just rumbling?
No, dude, he's not. No. I thought he was, but then I heard that, because I thought maybe it's a thing where he's not only on the hot seat because they had this collapse, but maybe the players had possibly given up. But he's one of the captains. AJ Brown's one of the captains, and it's like he's already gone through the whole. I'm not speaking to the media. He had those phases where he wouldn't speak to the media,
which was weird.
Right, but if he did not believe in Nick Sirianni, I gotta believe that he would have said something totally different than what he said. He might not have went and blasted Nick Sirianni, but he would not have been that supportive if he didn't believe in him. You feel me?
So wait, you're saying that Nick Sirianni didn't lose the team. That's what it sounds like.
Which means to me that I don't know if he's. I'll say I'm gonna change my original thought and say he's not on the hot seat.
He's not on the hot seat.
They need to change the coordinators. I hear what AJ Brown said about Brian Johnson, but I don't feel like this. This is the thing. When you have a collapse of 5 out of 6 games, and let's just say they don't beat the Bucs. Now, if they're going around, it's a different story. But if they lose to the Bucs, somebody got to leave, because you got to worry about your fan base. You can't try to convince your fan base that pay the season ticket holders and stuff like that, and the ones that bought, like, you can't convince them that, okay, we just got to run it back with the same people that got the same defensive coordinator, the same offense, and we can do this. No, somebody got to go, but I don't think it has to be Nick. I just think he needs to, because think about this. Nick Sirianni had two coaches that eventually became head coaches last season, right? Shane Steichen and Gannon. And they went to the Super Bowl. You get 2 new offensive coordinators, technically 3 if you want to count Mike Patricia, and they end up not looking like a Super Bowl team. Is that on Nick, or is it just it's
on Nick? It's on Nick.
Is it on? No. But the thing, you on the one hand, if he was able to get the team, to get the coordinators to do their best, and they go to the Super Bowl, you gonna blame him now that he couldn't, like he can only do what he can do.
Now listen, I don't know what to believe, because if you hear this AJ Brown clip, he's referencing. This clip is not from this week. It's from like 2 weeks ago when we played Seattle and Jalen Hurts threw the ball when we only needed a few yards. We was in field goal range. He tried to throw a deep shot and it was an interception. Now, Sirianni in the media that week said that he said he called that and he tried to draw a pass interference on that play. AJ Brown in the media for the first time, he took 2 weeks off from talking to the media for whatever reason. But when he did talk, he said this, and what he basically said was Nick Sirianni took the blame for what we did. So Nick Sirianni didn't call that play. Right. Jalen Hurts and them audible to that play, and it turned out bad. But in the media, Nick Sirianni fell on that sword. So yes, they are still riding for the coach, but to me, that's a deeper issue, because why aren't y'all running what y'all coach called when y'all are a struggling offense? Y'all in field goal range. To me, that indicates that the players aren't as tuned into Nick Sirianni as they should be. Because if that was a different type of coach, one of the coaches that just retired this week, who we're going to talk about shortly, I mean, would they have done that? And you're not Tom Brady. Y'all not that type of team or type of offense that can override a coach yet. So that comment to me, number one, it made me question everything Nick Sirianni says in the
First
media.
of all, I'm not going to put it past. I mean, yes, Jalen Hurts is not Tom Brady, but for this team, he is the franchise quarterback right now.
Let's not go down that road because I don't want to talk any negative things about my quarterback right now.
Okay, but
he is QB1. He has not shown the ability to diagnose defenses to the point to where you can override a play call.
I'm sorry.
You have not shown the point. You have not shown the capacity to read defenses correctly to this point, to where you can say, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do
this. Are they paying him as a franchise quarterback or not?
They're paying him as a franchise quarterback.
Okay, that's all. I forget I'm not going to make you cross over and tell back, but they're paying him as a franchise quarterback, right?
Yeah.
That means that he can have some leeway to sometimes change a play, like any franchise quarterback.
But why would you change the play when you in field goal range and risk it all? What sense does that make?
But that's the point. What I'm saying, two things can be true. Okay, this is something I've been saying for a while. It's like two things can be true. You can make a mistake as the franchise quarterback and make the wrong call, but still be a person that respects your coach and still follows your coach and stuff like that.
Yes, but that wasn't done my point. Yes. Now you're right. I'm not saying that they don't respect him based off of that, but I'm saying that one example, number one,
my bad.
And the fact that this team is loose now. They're throwing tantrums on the sideline. They saying anything to the media. That to me, that's an indication of how Sirianni runs this shit, period. It's not tight enough for me. It's not tight enough. It's not disciplined enough.
He said ship.
Now by the way. Ship. Yeah, he's trying to be too much like one of the guys. He's like that cool parent that want to be cool with the players. No, you have to crack the whip. You have to set the standard. And I have not seen that from Sirianni. And it's been cool while he's been winning. He's all brash on the sideline saying what he wants. Because
why should he change?
As a head coach in the NFL, you are coaching grown, rich men. You need to set a standard. You need to set parameters to which your team when things get rough, everybody just don't go on their own and do what they want to do now. Now AJ Brown want to, I ain't gonna say slam helmets. He want to throw tantrums. This person want to say this road comment. And then when adversity comes, we just all look wild. You know why? Because our coach has a wild demeanor. I'm not saying that he should be fired because of this. I'm saying that he does not have a handle on this team like I would like to see an NFL coach do. I think through this little adversity, some deficiencies in how he runs his program has peaked out. And I don't think you can deny that. Why do you disagree with that?
Because, I disagree with some of your points. I understand. I think the main point, and even in that, I feel like these are grown men.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody being upset because they felt like they could do better on a play, or they felt like a play could be ran better. It's okay. You have to let people vent. You can't be like, well, how dare you do that because the camera?
I'm not saying it's college or Alabama. I'm not saying that.
It's like I don't feel like just because you use the example of AJ Brown, slamming his helmet and stuff like that.
AJ Brown along with Smith, along with words on the sideline with Kelsey and coaches. To me, in the heat of battle, you're going to revert to what you know best. You're going to revert to what the foundation is. And Sirianni, since day one, he got in front of the media talking his crap. He got in front of the media being bravado. And that's all cool when you're winning. But if you want to have a long tenure in Philadelphia, and trust me, we done seen coaches come and go. We done seen players come and go. That's not the motto you want to put out there, because when we go through the adversity like we do now guess what everybody's doing? Trying to fire you. Because it looks like the way you running your ship ain't tight. Now, it's a whole different thing. Now, at the end of the day, they got to win. They got to execute. And he put these coordinators in place. He has watched Brian Johnson all this season call inept offenses. Hurts have been in front of the media twice this week talking about how they never found a rhythm. He wasn't trashing it, but he was saying they never found an identity this whole season. It's been 17 games. That's Sirianni. If you're the overseer and you're watching this, I'm not going to blame Brian Johnson. And then Sirianni, I do respect that he falls on the sword. Because obviously he said he called that play in Seattle, which he didn't call because AJ just debunked him. That's what you get when you have just a loose culture. You can get up there and pretty much say that your coach is lying.
Right.
You're trying to defend him,
right?
But in the same time, now we're not believing what he's saying to the media no more.
Right.
Now he's sitting there saying he calling the plays and not Brian Johnson. Why would we believe that? AJ just gave us an example of you saying something is going one way when it's not. So to me, where we at falls on, and then making that change to Matt Patricia. We're 1-3 since that change. The defense didn't look great, but it didn't look horrible under Sean Desai. Who was that? Was that Jeffrey Lurie? Or was that Nick Sirianni?
The defense part, I'm with you, but that goes back to coordinators not having good. I still don't feel like that's a Sirianni thing. I feel like I feel like Nick Sirianni is, I guess, one of the CEOs of the team, but he's not the coordinator of the team. Of the team, not a coordinator of the defense or the offense. He just makes sure that the ship is running smoothly as best it can. But again, you have to have competent coordinators in order for that to happen.
Okay, so he's not put an incompetent coordinator in place. Who fault is that?
I mean, this guy was. That's his fault, and it's Howie Roseman's fault.
If you change coordinators when the ship is not sinking, it's just the first sign of turbulence. When the media wants something done, and you know what, you're in-house, your defense not playing terrible, they just need to tighten up things. You go ahead and change coordinators at the end of the season. That's a sign of instability. That's a sign of what are you doing? How are you managing this? That's a bad move.
I mean, from the outside looking in, I might agree, but maybe there was more to it, inside the locker room that we know of that we'll find out later on. Maybe it was something with that.
Because he'll cover.
Well, that's true. We may, but I mean, we may not find out till later. It's after, but it's like there may be something deeper in regards to that for that move to have happened. But honestly speaking, I don't know too many people that were very supportive of the defense, even though we were winning. So I don't know if I agree with you about that. There didn't need to be a change. I don't feel like people were very confident in how the defense was looking just in the games that, even in that Cowboys game that we won. I don't feel like people thought the defense was part of the answer. We just did enough to do that.
The defense wasn't playing great, but more people had problems with how the offense was running. When that move was made, we put a social media post up asking his people happy. People wanted to see a change on offense, not the defense. I feel like he just did something to appease the public, and the move was a wrong move, and it didn't help any. That's Sirianni. So I'm not saying he should be fired. I'm not saying that. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's on the hot seat. And this next season coming up is very imperative that he put the right people in place and he just run his ship a little tighter. So when we hit some adversity, it don't look like the ship is falling apart. So I'm saying like shouldn't be fired. Whether we win or lose, he shouldn't be fired. But if we go through this again next season and we see some of the same issues at that point, I think it's a legitimate concern, a legitimate question. When you actually be fired.
So then we agree right now he's not on the hot seat.
The hot seat don't necessarily. Yes, the hot seat mean you better produce. And that don't necessarily mean this week. It mean you're on the hot seat now. Now we're really looking at you because we see chinks in the armor. But no, I don't think he should be fired this year, no matter what happened.
I do think though that the coordinator, we need to change the coordinator.
Oh yeah, that goes without being said.
I don't know if it's both coordinators or if it's just defense or whatever, but we probably need to change the coordinators.
We do. Brian Johnson is getting interviews for head coach positions. I don't know how, but he is. I hope he get hired somewhere. Matt Patricia, I think you got to go. You can go back with your daddy Belichick.
Well, who would you want to replace him if you? I mean,
that's a story for another day. But
like you saying, you hope that he goes, but it's like you also got to have a replacement. It's like
I don't care who replaces him. He has to go. We don't even. What is our offensive identity?
Obviously, we should care.
What is our offensive identity? What do we do good? Consistently. What have we done good this season?
That's fair.
Nothing good came from offense this year.
That's fair.
Bunch of empty numbers.
Right.
But we'll get into the off season when the off season comes. We got the Bucs coming up on Monday night. Yeah. Man, tell us how you feeling. Give us a prediction. And I know it's hard, but we got to do it. That's what we're here for.
Is it okay for me to say the Bucs will win?
It's okay. I mean, if that's what you really feel.
I don't feel. I feel like. No, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I feel no. Yeah, I'm going to do that. My Bucs. I can't even say the Eagles. I can't. Back to the confidence thing. I can't say the Eagles are going to win this game. I think it's going to be close. But I think we're going to find a way to blow it at the end, man. I think it's going to be about a field goal. It's going to be a field goal.
So the energy continues. The offense doesn't look better. The defense doesn't make stops when it matters, and we lose to the Bucs. That's the word of the original CP3. What's the score, man?
Honestly, it's going to be worse. We're going to start out looking good. We're going to probably be up 14-0. By the end of the game,
he's saying this after the seance, yo.
After the seance. Because I just don't believe that people are going to actually join in together as we should. People, we need to do this.
Yeah,
I gotta learn these lyrics. I don't even know lyrics like that. I gotta learn just like get the chant going, so I can go.
We'll play it at the end of the episode.
Right now, I feel like we're gonna be up by 14, and we're gonna find a way to blow this joint and be like,
damn,
17-14, man.
Okay, 17-14. Okay, my prediction is we win Monday night, Eagles. We win Monday night. We don't look great. I don't believe we come out and jump on them. I believe they come out. They're going to have the confidence. They see we a wounded animal. Yeah. They're going to jump on us, but we're going to find a way to piece something together and come back and win the game, and we barely going to get out of Tampa and survive the next week. I can't speak for anything after that, but I do not think we lose to a lesser team in the Bucs, even though we did just lose. I think this is the playoffs. I think we know it's win or go home. And if I believe this Eagles team has grit. I believe we have the talent. And if we're not going to piece it together after this week, then hey, we're done, obviously. But I do think we put together effort, and I think we get out of there and barely win by the skin of our teeth, 21-24.
I got a bright side. To my prediction.
What's up?
Bright side of my prediction. We're going to lose.
No, we're not, but go ahead.
But so are the Cowboys. So it's a bright side. That's a bright side.
That's not a bright side for me. We be on
the couch.
Yeah, that'll be a double whammy. That'll be a double whammy if that was to happen. But y'all heard it here. You know, he said we losing. What was it? 17-14. Yeah. And I think we barely get the win at 21-24. Man, I hope
I like yours. Right. I like your prediction better. I'm right. You hope. See what I mean? You ain't even confident in that. You
keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Exactly.
That's all we can do.
Go ahead.
But man, that's it for the Eagles coverage, man. We will be right back reacting to this game. You know, we can keep y'all up to date to what's going on. This is an important week, so get that energy right, man. Get that energy right. We're gonna get the Eagles. We going down there to Tampa. Hey, it's now or never, literally. But let's go ahead and get into these Sixers, man. Let's go ahead and get into these Sixers, man. It ain't much to talk about. We third in the East right now. We just came off a loss last night, actually, to Atlanta. Yeah. We went down to Atlanta. We lost in overtime without Embiid. A concerning stat to me is we 2-7 without Embiid this year. We 2-7. I mean, what's to be expected? That is the best player in the league right now. But you know, his history have shown we got to survive a few games without him in the playoffs.
Right.
And last night, you know, was a rough game. I feel like we should have won that game, but we didn't. Tobias had 32. Maxey had 35. It wasn't much support out of that. Oh, Marcus Morris, he had 17. Shout out to Marcus Morris. He got the key to the city too.
Yeah.
Key to the city. You know, he from the city. You know, we clap it up. We clap it up for you, good brother. You came back to the city. You putting on. You got the key. Shout out to you, class of 07 prep charter, putting on for the city. But we did lose. We did lose. We did have a chance to win it in regulation. Maxey had a last second shot with like 12 seconds left. He couldn't get a shot off. I think Trae Young stripped him.
Lost the freaking ball. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, he lost the ball to Trae Young.
I want to snap again. I already snapped about the Eagles.
Now, this was one of my problems when it came to Maxey's game. Not necessarily a problem. Something I just need him to work on over the off season was I needed him to get a bag, get a go-to move, get a move to where you got guaranteed creative space. You can pull it out in crunch time, no matter what defense is played. My thing with Maxey is he's either downhill attacking the rim or he's shooting the three. There's not necessarily much of an in-between game. I did see him hit the mid-range sometimes this year, so he is working on the mid-range. He can shoot the mid-range.
And in his defense, he looked like, to what you're saying, he looked like he had a move on that play. Like it did look like it was a move. He just got stripped. So in his defense,
by Trae Young.
Like, I mean, hey,
defensive stopper.
I think
Trae Young.
I think Trae Young, Steve Young. I think Trae Young is actually averaging like a 1.7 steals a game. So I mean, that was one of them. And that's the thing. It's like he actually had a move. So to your point, it did look like Maxey actually had a move to get to the basket. You just got the key to the game is holding on to the ball, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the worst time to lose the ball.
And don't get me wrong. I don't want to rain on Maxey too much. It's just one of my concerns because I know we're going to need him to be a number one at some point in the playoffs. Just with Embiid's health. I don't want it to happen, but normally something happens to where we got to survive without Embiid a couple games. And, I would just like Maxey to continue to work on that. But he's a hard worker. Everyone says that from his time in high school in Kentucky. I see clips with him working with Drew Hanlon after the game. So I don't have concerns.
It's a learning experience, bro. Like that's the other positive is this is a learning experience. First of all, you can't depend on the refs. And you just gotta you gotta be able to hold on to that ball at clutch times. And he'll learn from that. Like, figure out something else. Right. So that's
Kelly Oubre had 7 points last night.
He's gotta step it up. I mean,
7 points.
Come on, bro. Like
32 minutes, 7 points.
I don't remember what podcast it was, but I'm pretty sure I was, excited about him coming back. Yeah, and come on, you let me down, bro.
He had 24, 25 last game. I don't know what went on last night.
You in the game what you got when Embiid is out, like that's fine. You can have 7 points if Embiid's in the game, but Embiid ain't in the game. We need you to step up.
Yeah, and again, it's so many NBA games. We third in the East right now. Embiid didn't play. I mean, he's the best player in the league right now. And I think most people will say that this season. I mean, you can say who you like better, but this season, he's been the best player in the league. So when he doesn't play and you go to overtime versus the Hawks, you're not going to complain too much. But if we have to say something, we want to see Maxey be able to get a shot off right there. We want Oubre to show up with more than 7 points.
Right.
And I am slightly concerned. I do think we need to add another piece if we don't. If we have serious aspirations for winning something this year, we need to add another piece.
I mean, I've heard about getting, we need another big man because, watching Mo Bamba last night, he's okay, but I see why he is where he is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it would be good to have an upgrade over him. To your point,
it'd be good to have another big man,
right? When Embiid is out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
because Paul Reed is undersized, Morris is really a 4. Embiid changes the game defensively or offensively, so we at least need a big that can change the game defensively when Embiid is out. So we do need to add a piece. That's my concern right now. I feel like this team, in order for them to win it all, we have to get extremely lucky, like Toronto did that year with Kawhi Leonard, with people getting hurt on our way to the championship. I don't think this is a team that can just truck through and beat the elite teams without. We need another spark. We need another spark. I don't think we're deep enough. I mean, we're gonna make some noise. We'll be a solid team, top 3 seed. I think is a possible. You can get out the second round. But if we really want to win a championship, I don't think this is a championship team right now. I would like to see another piece get added.
I think if Embiid, I think we definitely this is not a team, like you said, not deep enough that we can't have Embiid. Embiid has to play.
Yeah,
like if it's in a 7-game series, he's got to play 6 out of 7. He can miss one game, but he's got to play. He got
not even one game, not in the playoffs.
No, but no,
not with
because
this
7 games. I mean, you could lose one game. But my thing is, if he's playing the game, I like our chances in the playoffs. If he's in the game with the team that we have, I do like our chances right now. I'm saying, without
versus any team,
I feel like right now the way they've looked, the way the league has looked, if he's in the game and he's playing like he's been playing with that 34 points that you showed at the bottom, Yeah, I think they can play. It's like the problem is though if he misses more than one game, because one game ain't nothing. Yeah, it's an issue. One game ain't nothing. If you miss one game, you count that as a loss, right? But the other games, I mean, all I need you to do is win 4. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the chances of us winning most series right now with the team that we have, pretty good. Maybe the Bucs might be the toughest one.
Okay, it's a different thing come playoff time, but this is I think this will be a great regular season team. I think they can even mess around and challenge for the 1 seed this year, depending on how everything works out. But
my belief is Maxey's learning, man. My belief is
Maxey is learning. This is his first season, really being in the driver's seat of the team, and I like what I've seen so far. He's on track for All-Star. And the sky's the limit. I mean, he's a baby in the league right now. So I feel good about the team. I don't know if I feel like it's a championship worthy yet, but maybe if a couple things break right. But overall, we happy with the Sixers. That was a tough loss last night. Real tough loss last night. Just quick, let me show y'all who we got next. We got the Sacramento Kings Friday night, who are a good team. Good team. Hope Embiid is back. That's a good team. So that should be a good one, man. That should be a good one. But keep watching the Sixers. We'll be tapped in even more to the Sixers once the Eagles season ends. But, follow us. We're going to keep y'all updated and keep watching them Sixers and giving the support. Oubre step up and get healthy.
Probably fix that date on there, but yeah, that's cool.
What's the date on there? Oh, 12/29. Yeah, it's definitely not that. It's definitely not that date.
I got you. Yeah.
Not that date at all. But that's the Sixers, man. We're going to get on out the Sixers talk. And we're going to wrap up with our social media portion. And this week, we reacted to some major news in the sports world, man. And I'm sure y'all heard of it. And we're going to talk about it too, man. It's only right. It's only right. Y'all see it?
Boom.
What does that say? What does that say, man?
Wow. I mean, end of an era, man. It's end of an era, man. It's, like what, half my life almost.
Half your life.
This bull's been the coach.
Half your life. They had to fight.
It's been the coach of the Patriots, man. And, it's like, for a long time, we hated the Patriots and stuff like that because of, him and Tom Brady and stuff like that.
Bill Belichick we talking about because we ain't actually say it. We went straight
I'm sorry.
Bill Belichick not retired. Let me not misspeak.
Parting ways with the Patriots.
Patriots, yep.
Which, I mean, because I would be surprised if he had retired. But, yeah, he's parting ways. And, they talking about he might go to the Falcons. Me personally, I'm like, why? Maybe even Seattle because they got a defense.
Yeah, Seattle.
They got a quarterback.
Pete Carroll got let go too.
Right. And even Mike Vrabel. They said he's available because he was a Tennessee Titans coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's available. They parted, they parted ways. So,
but the Patriots, man, Bill Belichick and Brady, they 24 years. Let me give y'all some quick stats. 24 seasons there, man. We in 2024 right now, so the math is easy. Since 2000, he's been in New England. During that time, he went to the Super Bowl 9 times. He won the Super Bowl 6 times. He has a 266 win and 120 losses in a regular season. So he more than doubled his wins over losses. He is 30-12 in the playoffs. He is only 15 wins shy of Don Shula for the NFL record for the most wins, 347. So that's why he's going to come back and coach. He's not retiring. He's coming for that record. So when I think about the Patriots, that era, we experienced that era because we went to the Super Bowl versus them in 2000. I think it was the 2004-05 season when we had McNabb, we had T.O.
2004. Yeah, 2003.
And we lost to them 21-24. I still remember that game. That game hurt my soul. I remember sitting there watching that like how didn't we beat these guys? I felt like we had a better team. But when I think about that team, I think about great defenses. He always put a great defense on the field. I think about
he also always had a good cameraman in the stands to go watch people's plays too.
Listen, we're gonna get into that. Spygate. I should have read that when we talked about the stats. Spygate. That was 2007. That's when they got caught. But they said they was doing that for years when they got caught. They was doing that during the time when they beat us in the Super Bowl. So that's my biggest beef with New England. I say they was cheating the damn near the whole era. So they was doing the Spygate things multiple years, specifically during the year where they beat the Eagles in the playoffs and the Super Bowl, only by 3. So imagine if they wasn't spying, what the outcome would have been. And I know this is not going to get told in the history book, so I got to tell it.
Tell it.
Cheating.
Tell it.
The Spygate number 1. Deflategate number 2. They was literally taking the air out of balls that the opposing team played with. So definitely pause that. But when we up there in Foxborough, we kicking field goals to win. We throwing the balls around, pause, and they taking the air out of them. Not Tom Brady balls, the other team balls.
Yeah.
Pause. And we pausing this whole conversation. I ain't about to say this again, lest it get too crazy. But the Deflategate, that's another scandal. And I want to go on record and say they blamed Deflategate on Tom Brady. They gave Brady a 4-game suspension and fined him $1 million. A smack on the wrist. Turn the other cheek ministry. When we talk about Spygate, the punishment was $500,000, and they lost their first round pick, which was a 31st pick. Smack on the wrist. Turn the other cheek. And the last thing, but not least, the thing that started the dynasty, the Tuck rule. The Tuck rule. Come on, man. We all can watch that film and see that ball was tucked. That ball was not tucked. That was a fumble.
No, it was a fumble.
It was a fumble up there in Oakland, the snow game. That started the whole thing. Gave Tom Brady his first chip. So I would venture to say that the NFL had an interest, had more than they had a heavy interest, a heavy agenda behind these Patriots, because they only got smacked on the wrist when they got caught cheating, and that first Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's like what's going on? And when we talk about his history, when his documentary get told, when the Patriot way, go ahead.
Hold on, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. All 3 points that you made was good, and those are questionable knocks against his legacy, as well as how his last 2-3 years ended with the Patriots
since Brady left.
Right. That's also knocked his legacy as well, because he has not been the same great coach, which is probably why they parting ways. He a fresh start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he was a great coach, man. Not only
was he
a great coach for this team, he also was a great coach for the Browns and stuff like that. He's a great coach.
Let's not do that. He wasn't a great coach for the Browns. He was a good coach for the Browns. He was a good coach for the Browns.
That's fine. He was a good coach. That's fair.
He was a good coach for the Browns, but he was a real.
The point is that I'm not going to totally knock him with just talk about the knocks. Like, he was a really good coach. Like, he actually did. Him and Tom Brady together really
made magic.
You can't magic. You can't. The problem is that you can't talk about Bill Belichick's success without mentioning Tom Brady.
Yeah. Now that's the thing. Who was the big dog over there? Was it Brady?
I mean, you have to say Brady, right? You have to say Brady. But for right now, we're focusing on Bill Belichick. And it's like he did actually
the hoodie.
Back to what you said before, he ran a tight ship. And because of his tight ship, they had a lot of success.
Yeah.
And
Patriot way.
We kind of need some of that tightness, pause, with this team. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they gotta
some of that discipline.
Like one thing about this guy is definitely up there in the standard with, let's say, a Vince Lombardi and some of the great ones. You know what I'm saying? Bill Walsh. Like you gotta give him credit for that.
I started off with his accomplishments, and then I got into my bag about the Spygate stuff, because nobody's mentioning that today. It's all good stuff. It's all accomplishments being tweeted, and I just needed to say that as an Eagles fan, that when we played them in the Super Bowl, they were actively cheating.
I'm over it.
They were actively cheating.
Once 2017 come over, I'm over it now. I'm
over it too, but it needs to be said for everybody in Philadelphia.
Don't forget,
sit there and watch them cheat and get away with it.
Always remember
Y'all got a lot of wins without cheating too, so we're not going to tarnish the whole legacy. But that need to be said. But like I said, 266 wins over there, 30 wins in the playoffs, 9 Super Bowl appearance, six titles. And he has an obsession. I seen the tweet. It was like a spoof. It was like Bill Belichick was scouting receivers, and he seen this. It was like this white receiver from like BYU or something that made a move. He was in the scouting room getting turned on. Like, that's the one right there. That's the one. We gotta draft him. It was like, you don't want to draft Marvin Harrison?
Right, forget Marvin Harrison.
No, not Marvin Harrison. He the one. I'm like, that's hilarious. Because he stayed with a shifty white slot receiver that was tough. Shout out to Edelman.
Hey, man.
Shout out to
Wes Walker.
Wes Walker.
Yeah.
Who else? Let's name some of their great. Amendola.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gronk. Teddy Bruschi, Vince Wilfork. That was probably my favorite Patriot. He was a dog. I used to play D tackles, so I like D tackles. Vince Wilfork, that was the guy.
But I feel like this new team he goes to, whoever he goes to, if they have success, like this is going to be a really interesting test. It's going to be an interesting test.
If he don't have success, to your point,
right now he's looking like right now, the way his career is looking, it's looking like the Tom Landry career.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Landry was the coach of the Cowboys for a long time, and then but when I was growing up as a kid, all I know about is the Cowboys losing because that was near the end of the era. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I didn't watch him during the heyday. I wasn't even around. During his heyday.
A new fan that just got into football.
Right. So you see, it's like, you know about the bad part of Bill Belichick after Tom Brady. So it's like he kind of needs this next team.
And it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be interesting to see where he go. He needs 15 wins. He hasn't had any success outside of Brady. Mm-hmm. So it's imperative for his legacy to have some success separated from Brady and to go ahead and get that wins record. So shout out to the hoodie. You wasn't one of my favorites. You was one of our nemesis. We did win our Super Bowl versus you, so we got our lick back.
That's the other thing, right? Exactly. At least that happened before you decide. Yeah,
we got our lick back. So man, shout out to Bill Belichick though. Leaving the Patriots. I don't know what they're gonna do up there in New England. Y'all might as well just fold it up because I don't see nothing good coming down. Brady and Belichick going, but we ain't gonna spend no more time on that.
Right.
Shout out to Belichick, man. That was our social media portion of the week. We're about to wrap up. Any recommendations for the people? It's been a minute.
Hey man, have you seen Quarterback yet? Quarterback on Netflix.
I watched it. Yeah. I did watch it.
Check
it out.
I had a better appreciation for Mahomes after watching that. I don't know about you.
So that's a first-person view.
Yeah, it really is. If you don't know a lot about Patrick Mahomes, forget all the commercials. Like, if you want to see an inside look into him and even Kirk Cousins, I had a little bit more respect for Kirk Cousins after watching.
True.
I must say that. Marcus Mariota, the way this season's gone, and even seeing him in that last game, this did not help. He did not dispel what I saw in quarterback in this last game against the Giants. It's kind of more the same. Like, he is who he is. But also, still was interesting.
It was interesting.
The behind the scenes, like you said, first person point of view. So definitely check it out, man.
Check it out, man. It follows Kirk Cousins, Mahomes, and Mariota through a whole season. The year that they beat us in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs. So that did.
Yeah.
It was a good watch, man. I checked it out recently. That was a real good watch. So go ahead and check that out, man. The list is growing. He now gave a lot of recommendations for y'all to go ahead and check out. When y'all not watching us, y'all got something to watch. We told y'all, don't be saying y'all ain't got nothing to watch.
That's right.
Check the boy Mahomes out, man. He had me dying during that series. But man, we wrapping up episode 5. Just to let y'all know, we here every week throughout these NFL playoffs, man. We is not taking 2 weeks between episodes no more. We here every week giving you the live reactions.
Yes, sir.
Driving the bus all the way home up to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And we're excited about it. So we shall be back.
Can't wait to talk about these playoffs.
Before you know it. And we getting out of here with the Séance. This has been episode 5. We live. I'm your guy. They call me Uncle Dud. Do the same.
And I'm the original CP3.
The original CP3. And we're going to get out of here just like that.
To pray for this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this in a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the bag of Patty Waggy, cuffs locked on wrists. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do.
Episode 5, baby. We gonna holler at y'all.